All right, everyone, welcome back into another fantasy golf video. Going to get into the fades, sleepers, and values, but I do want to remind you guys that this video is going to be sponsored by Fandex.com, which is going to be your fantasy sports portfolio. They have had a setup for the last 2 weeks for the FedEx Cup playoffs to make it a little bit more fun. It's a fantasy sports portfolio in which you could buy, sell, and short your shares. One player that I got on last week, early on Thursday morning, which is kind of awesome. After lineup block, I actually went out and purchased, about 10 shares of Patrick Cantlay, which obviously ended up being really clutch with that victory. And that's kind of the fun thing about it. You can always buy or sell or short shares whenever you want. So that's kind of a fun thing there that we have going with Fandex.com. So check them out. This is the last week for it. So you can really go, aggressive with your volume on their portfolio. So definitely give them a check out this week. But that being said, with this video, it is the same as we've been doing the last 2 weeks. So, the fades are going to be players that we're going to sell or short, okay? It's the same thing, just a little bit different terminology. And then the sleepers and values, well, those would be your buying opportunities. So someone like Daniel Berger, he is both a sleeper and a value because I think he can, really go out and have a much better week than he has had recently. Okay, we look at what he's done on Fandex.com for a while. He's been on a downward trend. He's someone that we can pull up here on the 9-to-5 cheat sheet here. We'll pull up Daniel Berger. We can see that actually ranks out really well in the model. So, he's made 10 straight cuts in a row. Played well at the FedEx St. Jude. Hasn't been playing well in the playoffs. That's why he's really dropped off. That's why he's starting out in 26th place. That's not really good, but last year we saw him finish top 15 at this tournament. He's a guy that I think really can go low. It's just a matter of trying to find someone that's cheap enough that can go low. So he is both going to be a sleeper and a great value for me because, one, we've seen him do it before. I know he hasn't been playing the best recently, but he's a guy that can easily just start to fire off some really good rounds. He's kind of just been treading for the last few weeks. So he's someone that I would go with. He actually ranks out as the second best staff in the field. So we can get that at 5.8. That is going to be highly appealing to me. And then we look at someone like Scotty Scheffler, both a value, and I think he's going to be a great sleeper pick as well. We saw him really go out low at this tournament last year, finishing 5th. So Scotty Scheffler also ranking out really well. Top 5 staff in the field, 7th in recent form rank. Wish we had a little bit more of upside finishes in the last 3 weeks, but still we know that he's a guy that can easily go low. He's a guy that can really fire off some low rounds. This is going to be a course that suits him a little bit better, as we can see by his key stats. 6.8, that's going to be a great price point for him. You could easily go with both of those guys if you need to do that. But then after that, there's not that much that I love for like sleepers or values. Obviously you could go with Kevin Na, who, Kevin Na has been fine. Don't mind him. Stuart Sink, I guess we could see him go low a little bit. Sergio is always like a hit or miss option. He ranked out decently well last week in the 9-to-5 model, and he ranks out top 23 this week as well. Just not someone I want to go with. I know a lot of people are going to be on EVR here. You can play him. I don't mind him. 3 top 10 finishes over his last 4 starts. I'm perfectly fine with that. And then Sunjam. Sunjam is definitely going to be like a sleeper type pick for me. He's starting out in 11th place. That's intriguing to me. He's a guy that's been really trending in the right direction for over a month now. Finally put it all together last week, and I can expect that climb to continue again this week. Now we're going to get into a couple of the fades. And guys, I don't like the fades. I'll show you guys here. It's just like on the stock exchange. I'm trying to pull them up here. So we can pull up Patrick Cantlay just to give you guys like a visual representation. So Patrick Cantlay saw his stock and price really increased last week, but we look at his price point here on DraftKings, 13.4. That's going to be a lot. So I don't exactly want to chase him at that price point. I don't mind him. I think he's still going to finish top 10. I just don't see him going out and winning this week, which is going to be my worry with him. Top 9 in the model, fine with that, but there's some other plays that we can go with, and we can see he has actually somewhat struggled at this tournament, finishing 21st in his 2 attempts at this course. So, I'd much rather go with John Rahm or Bryson. And, another one I'm going to fade is going to be Tony Feno, who Tony Feno exactly hasn't dominated this tournament either. 17th, 7th, and 15th. He is going to be starting in that second spot. I do expect him to finish like top 7 or so, but I would much rather go with someone like Justin Thomas, great course history, starting in the 6th spot. He's finished 2nd, 3rd, and 7th. That's going to be highly appealing to me. So that's why when we get a play like Patrick Cantlay and Tony Finau this week, I just can't end up on them. They're just a little bit too scary of an option as me. Then we got like players like Rory, who, starting in the 16th spot, I think he's definitely going to make up those strokes, playing much better as of recent. So, that's another player that I'd much rather go with than I would, some of those higher end guys. So it's going to be Jon Rahm really for me. And then I'm going to be fading kind of everyone else in the top end and maybe going more of a fair and balanced approach with some players like Rory, English, Burns, and then filling it in with some of those sleepers, some of those values, some of those buying opportunities in Daniel Berger and Scottie Scheffler. But that's all I have for you guys for the fade, sleepers, and values. Remember, check out fandex.com. This is your last week, so if you guys have a lot of shares left over, make sure to take advantage of that. You can easily go out and sell some of the players that are not going to be playing this week. Say you invested in Webb Simpson, you can go ahead and sell him and really go aggressive on maybe someone like Daniel Berger, maybe Scottie Scheffler, or go put it all in on our boy Harris English. So that's all I have for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, subscribe, and as always, guys, let's keep cashing.